Tactical off-road racing.
We're in the trial section. This is the Alpha Map trial section. We've got Matt Weeks in the fourth right now.
Good morning and welcome to Sunday at the Torr. We are here in sunny Prestine, which is in mid Wales. And we're looking at this morning, we're just waiting for the cars and drivers to line up for the Sunday morning start. First car should be off the line at 8:30. So you can see the pits. We're running the same as yesterday. 2 groups. We're starting with Group 2 today. So these are the cars that came slightly lower down in the prologue. I wouldn't say they're the slower cars. They just might have been stuck in traffic and stuff like that. So we do have some quite fast people still running in this group. And you can see the drivers getting ready. Okay, so the format for today then. We're looking at Group 2. They're going to run for an hour. We then have Group 1. They're going to run for an hour. We then go back to Group 2. They're going to run for an hour. And then we're going to go back to Group 1. They're going to run for an hour. And it's basically as many laps as you feel that you can do with inside that hour. All laps count. And then we're going to do a final with everybody in together. And that's going to be 2 hours and a double lap, I believe. I will check that later for you. And obviously, we will bring you the final live as well. As you can see, the dust is already up. We've been talking a lot about the dust. I guess we weren't talking about dust, we've been talking about rain. But as you can see, hopefully, as we pan across. So what we're going to try and do with the lives today is we're obviously giving you coverage of Group 2 now. And then later on, we'll give you the later Group 1 session. And then obviously the final. So we also have our drone up, Flying Fox. He'll try and give you some of the FPV action off the start line this morning. And then further up onto the site, we've got more people flying drones. Did some epic footage last night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that live coverage as we watch our first car come up to me on the start line. So I'm just going to talk a little about the course today. Noticed people were doing some quite quick laps yesterday. We also had quite a few people who are broken and have had to retire. I was talking to some of the co-pilots and drivers yesterday, and they're saying there isn't that much winching. The course is fast, open, and dusty. But that can still, the faster you go, it still puts a huge amount of wear on the car. So off from this start, we've got a quite dramatic climb up the hill. And we're literally talking about a 200-meter climb. You can see Fox has just gone all the way up that start line. And for about the first K, it is a full-on climb, all the way up onto the top of the site, where you can really start to open the car up. You've got some jumps laid on, a couple of obstacles, there's some woods. But the track's getting quite well known now, so everybody knows exactly where they're going, hopefully. There's some big ruts, big berms now created out on site as well, which we saw from some of the footage last night. Right, so we're about a minute or so from the first car leaving the line. Appreciate all the comments that are coming in. Good morning, everybody. If you guys want to follow along at home, we do have some live tracking. There's our first car heading up to the start line. So the address that you can now see on the screen is the live tracking, or live timing. So you can see what kind of lap times these guys are putting in. Let's see if we can get a wave. I can only imagine how hot it's going to be in these cars once they start getting hot as well. Sitting above the gearbox near that engine. Just take the opportunity now to thank our sponsors. Without our sponsors, we couldn't do this event, obviously. And our main sponsor, Torr. Just waiting for our first car to be released off the line, which I think you can all see from the drone. Here they go. Just on the countdown. And they're off, and you can kind of just get an idea of how much dust there is being kicked up. These traps certainly do dig. There's Team Ireland, Seamus, heading up to the line. So second physical car off the line this morning in Group 2. Also, everybody remember that we can watch these live feeds back again, obviously on the Welsh YouTube channel. So I'm sure the drivers like to see themselves. You can now see the dust. There's hardly any wind up here at all. That dust is just hanging. Team Lemon.
All over again.
These guys are always enthusiastic.
All the way to Scotland with the bus.
I can't hear what they're saying, but I'm sure it's broadcast appropriate. From watching some of the team's Facebook channels last night, we can see that these guys were fixing until late in the night. It's good to see them back out again. And why wouldn't you like today? So if you're just joining us today, this morning, for the live, then you're watching the start of the first heat of the day, which is the Group 2. And these guys have started 8:30, first car off the line. They have an hour to do as many laps as they can. We then have the Group 1 cars. They also then have an hour to do as many laps as they can. We then go into 2 more heats, both groups, 1 and 2 again. And then we go into a final. And when we'll find who would be the winner of the first ever Torr. Here, mid Wales at Pristine. On this mountainous site, it's fair to say it's mountainous. So I do believe we got some drones up now, and you're seeing some cars coming down some more of the technical sections of the site up on the top there, and that just gives you a really good idea how steep some of the parts of this site are. Because you've got to go up, but you've also got to come back down again. Obviously, we've got a mix of cars out here today. It's the Can-Ams and the side-by-sides. This suits them very well, this course. Nice, fast, flowing, not much winching. And then we have some of the faster, big suspension, big engine cars really tearing up these hills. Martin Cole off the line again. It's good to see them. I know they had a few issues yesterday. believe it looks like he might be our last car in this group heading off the line this morning. We've got the footage from Flying Fox right next to him. Hopefully he puts on a good show for us and gives it some welly up the hill. See if he can outrun Flying Fox. And there he's off. Chased hotly by a drone. And it's pretty much like that for the next 1 kilometre. There is a nasty little vicious gully that's been quite cut up that they now have to navigate to get up onto the top of the side proper. We were watching some of the drone footage back last night. Yeah, it's pretty dug out at the top there. So no doubt they'll try and catch some of the traffic in front of them. Hopefully this wind picks up, dust's cleared out and people can see to pass. And that's it for our Group 2 starters on this first heat this morning. So we're probably looking at about a 15-minute lap. So we should see some people in shortly. Okay, I'm just going to wander up to the finish line. We should start to see our first people come back over the finish line. And I'm being followed by a drone. Right, gonna make my way up to the finish line. Not as fast as the car, obviously. Right, short walk up the finish. So we got Fox flying the last little bit of the course there for you. And it's dusty up here. Yep, so if you're watching from home, please like and share what we're doing. Obviously, if you like what we're doing, the more interest we can get in this, the better the footage and the coverage we can produce, hopefully. So just to recap, if anybody's just joined, we're at the finish line of Group 2, Heat 1, Sunday morning. I do hear a car. So there's a very fast track up to the finish line here. And then it turns into this little bit of a wriggle through the trees right in front of me. Yeah, so we're looking basically whoever comes through here would be our first car in this morning from Group 2. And it's almost flat out down to this section here. So we should hear them, should see some dust. I can hear someone. So hopefully you guys can see on the drone footage that we're bringing you at the moment, just how wide and open this site really is. It lends itself to some very fast driving, some nerves, and it's Team Island. They've made up some places this morning and some time. So you can now see how rutted and cut up this track is becoming. And that's him across the finish. Down through the trees. That's our timing marshal there in the dust, just confirming which car it was that came across the line. Right, we have another car entering this section. We have a car that's slightly lost.
Yo!
So we have a car up here, and that's going to be a bit unfortunate. They're on the live and they're lost. So you can see the track above us. There's a turning down into the woods where we're stood, and they've literally overshot that. So they're off to recorrect.
Any false triggers, Sue? Did you get any false triggers with the dust? Sorry for shouting if you're recording. I'm speaking Welsh, you don't understand it.
Okay, so hopefully we'll see that car make a correction in its course, and here it comes. Just must have been too keen on that track and overshot the turning. Easy to do, but that will have cost them time. About 2 minutes. Okay, just to recap, we're on the finish line. Heat 1 of Group 2.
5.
Yep, so we've seen Team Seamus, Team Ireland already cross the line. Okay, I'm hearing that Flying Fox are coming back out with a slightly smaller drone. See if we can get in amongst the trees up here. Try and make the footage as exciting as possible for you guys. Obviously, if you want to follow along, we've got the live timings. So you can follow along at home. We'll put the website up. It sounds like we've got another car incoming. Right, 2 cars, one behind each other. This should be interesting. There's not much place to pass here. So we've got the Lemons just in front. You can just see the dust on their side slope. These guys are now kicking up. And I cannot see the following team number at all. Timing Marshall's got their work cut out up here trying to see who's who. So, just going to walk across to the start line. So we've got car 35, Scanlon and Julian. Sorry if I haven't pronounced the names correctly. But so these guys have literally, we just seen them come in. These are the guys that were lost a minute ago. Lost about a minute or so, but they're going straight back out on another lap. So we have an hour, basically, for the guys to do as many laps as they can within that hour. Right, okay, so if you're just joining us, I'm going to repeat what's going on again. So we're down here at the Torr, pristine in mid Wales. And you're watching the live start of people's second laps of the first heat of the morning. So I can see Team Lemon just making their way up to the start line. I wasn't timing it, but these guys are just putting in a fairly fast lap. So we saw them back here about 15 minutes or so. So we're looking at around about a 15-minute lap. And I have another car coming in behind me. Let's see who we've got coming in. So all these guys doing really well, putting in some good solid laps. Obviously, if nothing's wrong with the car, they can go straight back out again. So we've got Team Island, I think it is. No, it's not. I can't see through the dust. Apologies, no. Just down there talking to the timing marshal. And we have another car. It's gone the wrong way up behind me at another track. They seem to be overshooting that drop down into the forest that we're looking at here at the finish. As long as they join the course where they left it, they're all good. But you don't get prizes for extra miles. So you can obviously see that I'm stood up here on the start-finish line. We have a roving camera down in the queuing and the marshalling area. We can see close-ups. We've got guys out on drones. Try and give you as many different views of the action as we can. Obviously, yesterday there were more cars running. We're down now to people who are still up running and were able to fix last night. Now, obviously, because it's so dry out here, dust is a big problem. Air filters get clogged. These cars are working hard going up these hills. They're going to have to suck in a lot of air, and that's when the filters get clogged. So I've seen people in the pits vacuuming things, T-shirts over air filters, everything just to try and keep this dust out. And it is very fine dust. You should know it's covered all over my camera kit. It's all over our drones, our laptops. Okay, so we have Hot Nuts, Martin Cole, just coming into the finish line there, just crossing over. We have an Irish team heading up to the start line. I believe car 15. Just saw them come in, so obviously no problems. They're going to head straight back out. So that's MacGyver and Dirty. So these guys are all going out in lap 2. And we've got basically about half an hour to run. So will these guys be able to put in 3 laps or 4? Car number 7 cruising up to the start line for his start. So this is Wyborn and Wyborn in this car, I do believe. So just seen them leave the start line, car number 7, hotly followed by the drone, the Flying Fox. It's now just swapped up to the bigger drone, out the trees, goes a bit quicker. Yes, so it looks like we got Martin Cole heading up here. Can't remember what number it is. Yes, it's like an eye test up here today, so it's number 2, Martin Cole. And he's got his guest co-driver in today from Twinlock. Adam sat in the co-driver seat. I know these guys had some technical issues yesterday with a belt tensioner, I believe. So hopefully it looks like they've got all that sorted. And that's all behind them. And they're heading out on their second lap. I think we just had a shout out for car number 7 from Fiona. Appreciate the comments, everybody. Thank you very much for watching us, showing your support. Do make sure you share this around. You can always watch the lives afterwards. They'll be on the Welsh YouTube channel, as well as obviously on the Facebook. All quiet back up here on the finish. I'll be expecting to see somebody come back here very, very soon if we're running 15-minute laps. But there are some choke points out there. I mean, we've got to go through gates. There's some bits in the forest as well where they might have to winch. So there are some choke points that people can get caught up behind. And that would obviously slow them down if somebody breaks on course at one of those choke points. I do believe we've got car number 30 heading up to the start line. You can see through the trees. So I'm being told that this car only has a first gear. Whether they got high and low box, I'm unaware. But I've just been told that they've only got first gear. That will make for a slow lap, I should imagine. Or in a very noisy one too. So we're bringing you coverage from the 3 drones up at the moment, varying points across the site. And here we come with Team Ireland, Seamus. He's putting in a good time. It's about right for a 15-minute lap. Obviously, you can watch the timing live on the website that we've been putting up on the feed. And I think Jerry, who is sat in the pits, probably watching this from a nice air-conditioned RV, is just to give a shout out to Team Ireland. And you're not watching a competitor here; you're watching actually one of the marshals just making their way around the course. Okay, so we've only had one car finish lap 2 so far. Just to recap, if you're just joining us, this is Group 2, first heat of the day. Everybody's been split into Groups 1 and Groups 2. So yesterday it was Group 1 and Group 2. Today it's Group 2, Group 1. And all of the groups were set on the order in which they finished the prologue, which is on Friday night. And we just stood up here by the start. And the finish. And in the distance, we can see all the Group 1 cars starting to get ready. They will be out shortly. Okay, we have our next finisher on lap 2. Okay, so I've just been told it's basically 3 laps, not as many laps as they can do in an hour. They have to do 3 laps. And that should be doable with the timings we're looking at the moment. So first car off the line, 8:30, just about half an hour in. So they can do as many laps as they can, as long as they can get 3 in, basically, is what we're saying. So 3 is the limit. And that's just there so that we can get the next lot started, basically. We're following the next heat on. So I do believe we've got car 35 down near the pits. And they've been dusting themselves off, ready for another lap. Okay, it looks like we got another finisher on their second lap. This is the Lemons, I think. Yes, it looks like. I think these guys were up late fixing the car last night. Always putting a good show. Hotly followed by another car behind them. Let's see if we can pan around and capture them. So I do believe we're showing you some drone footage from out the back of the site. You can see how wide and open these runs really are. So it looks like we've got Seamus coming up for his third lap, Team Ireland. See if I can pan down. Can't quite see it in the sunlight. So this will be their third lap. So this will be their last lap they can do within this session. Okay, so you're watching a couple of the teams, Team Ireland in the front there, trundling up to the start of their third lap. They can obviously go slow here because the time does not start until they actually cross the actual timing gate, which is a little bit further up the hill. Just going slow. Try and keep the dust down past all the timing guys. We're all coated in dust up here. Right, so that's, you can see them trundling up to now. They'll sit there and they'll wait for their countdown timer lights. And that's when the clock starts. So they're just starting their third lap. Third and final lap of this heat. Okay, you can see we got a steady stream of traffic up to the start line. These guys are all trying to get up, get their third lap done. These are all third lap starters that we're looking at here. So they complete their 3 laps, and then it's down to timing, how quickly they did those 3 laps. You can see one of our stills media guys there. And they're off. Third lap, final lap of this session for them. They'll be pleased to get that one in the bag. Car number 35 there. So that's Scanlon there and Houlihan going up to the start again on their start of their third lap. Car 35 there off on their final lap. We did have another car, which I think was Team Lemon, lined up down there, but it looks like they've turned around. From what I am hearing, it sounds like they might have had a problem with their brakes. And we have a finisher as well. And you want brakes out here today, I tell you. Who have we got coming through? I didn't catch the car number. Okay, so I do believe that car was just finishing its second lap, and it looks like they might be going around to try and start on their third. And we have somebody else coming up as well into the finish. So that was McIver and Dirty, car 15 that we just saw finish. Yeah, and then you can see just car 15 there trundling back up to start their third lap. So the last car that you saw come in, blue one, Wyborn and Wyborn, they've decided that's it for today, 2 laps. It's good enough for them, so they've headed back into the pits. So we're in the closing moments, 10 minutes or so left of this session. These are the Group 2 cars. And then we've got the Group 1 cars warming up. So we're in the closing stages of this first heat now, which is the Group 2 cars. We're going to come live later and around about 12:30, hopefully, and bring you some coverage of the Group 1 cars, obviously all vying for clean air in the final later on this afternoon, which everybody is in. So if we had all the battery power in the world, we would stay out here live all day. But as you can imagine, we're all out remote with cameras. We need to get back, change, recharge, swap out fresh batteries, and get back out to location. So what we're going to do now is we've got a natural break with all the cars, and we're in the kind of the closing minutes now of our first live. We're going to show you guys basically a overview of the course, and we will be back later with the Group 1 cars.
Here's the course overview for the Torr. Through the first gate, a hairpin left, the course starts at the edge of the field at the bottom of the hill, followed with an impressive incline and a long straight run, culminating in the first jump tailor-made for the Torr. Into a wooded area, co-drivers at the ready, a steep climb where the use of a winch may be required. The next jump, for the drivers to contend with, is at nearly 4 kilometres in, and onto the obstacle, which is followed by another long stretch of fast driving. This safari-style event runs over the course of Saturday and Sunday, with nearly 9 kilometres of racing per lap. The winner will be the team to complete all required runs in the fastest time, using a points per heat system. And the final technical section sees the competitors race through the trees to the finish of the Torr, tactical off-road racing.